Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to TRENCHFACE. Now, just, I admittedly, I admittedly made a grave and terrible mistake. One of our only mistakes since we figured out this whole YouTube ordeal. I made a great error, and that was not changing my display settings in OBS, which this game launches as a windowed application, not as a full screen application, and I do not have this set to display capture. Now I do. Now I do. As you can see, my cursor is there on the screen. That'll get fixed moving forward. Anyways, none of that matters. We played through this already. Do you enjoy the aesthetic of trench warfare? Is All Quiet on the Western Front in your top 5 favorite movies? Did you love the games like Conscript and Amnesia the Bunker? Did you? I'm asking honestly. Do you know why the 1918 trench knife has a pommel on it? Do you? Do you know? You tell me. Listen, folks, I love the World War I aesthetic. The revolution in technology, jumping from static warfare to trench warfare, where you and your foe were hunkered down in these stagnant fighting positions, literally fighting for inches of ground. What comes to mind when you think of World War I? For me, it is a soldier with a spiked mace-like club, a rifle slung or a shotgun, chiefly the 1897, slung around his back, gas mask on, helmet tilted downward. Perhaps he's wearing a more knight-style set of armor, which was prolific at the time and common. Trench raiders were an entire subgroup, within the trenches. They snuck into enemy trenches at night to perform psychological warfare operations and hit them with guerrilla tactics. They would slit throats in their sleep, and then they'd sneak back to their trench, and by the time morning came, soldiers on the other side, the soldiers that were victims of these attacks, had quite a brutal surprise on their hands. World War I was not all stagnant warfare. But you see the invention of machine guns, water-cooled machine guns. You see the invention of, or not the invention, but the widespread use of makeshift body armor. You see tanks, aviation, chemical warfare being used. World War I was so violent, so harrowing, so haunting to experience, that a set of rules for combat were put into place as a result of this war being fought. So, needless to say, World War I speaks for itself, and now you add survival horror on top of it. You add a horrific, twisted shell of the trenches. The trenches are, okay, let's talk about war for a second. War is horrific. War is horrifying. War is, it is the ultimate form of horror. You have not only the primal terror, the fear of injury, the fear of death, but you have, the emptiness and the loneliness that coincide with it. War is horrific, and it's loud, and it's nasty, and it's in your face. It smells awful. It's hot. Or cold. I mean, it could be a lot of different things. Anyways, I'm getting off track, but war is visceral. You can feel it, you can smell it, you can touch it, you can taste it, you can hear it. It's loud, gritty, and it's in your face, right? World War I as a backdrop for horror is phenomenal. And I did say in the first part, which you're not ever going to see, it's been deleted because I was frustrated with it, and I didn't want to cobble Frankenstein together my audio with a blank playthrough. So you're getting a second playthrough. But on the first playthrough, I talked about war and war as a backdrop for horror, and it's something that, like, I can talk about in Operator or Ready or Not or Ground Branch or Dagger Directive. Like, I can talk about these concepts, but oftentimes we don't see war as a true backdrop for horror games. Now, there has been a resurgence, not a resurgence, but there has been people branching out into those fields a little bit more recently. TRENCHFACE is an example of that. Amnesia the Bunker is an example of that. What's another game that takes place in a war? A horror game that takes place in war, combat. Shell Shock Vietnam. If any of you remember that, the second Shell Shock game was a zombie game that took place in Vietnam. God, off the top of my head, those are really the only examples I can give. But horror and war work and mesh perfectly well together, and I think it's an underutilized. Oh my God, bizarre example: The Darkness. Jackie Estacado, when he kills himself, or at least attempts to, and the darkness takes him to hell. His version of hell is a World War One battlefield, right? And the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse have been manifest in these bizarre ways. Like Pestilence is a creature wearing a plague doctor's mask, a withered humanoid form wearing a plague doctor's mask that's crucified on an X-shaped cross, right? And then War is a massive rail-mounted cannon that takes it's like a giant war train with this huge cannon on it. It took this concept, the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, which is near and dear to my heart, and it personified them. It gave them a new skin to walk around in. And the reason that Jackie Estacado, that character in that game, The Darkness, was tied to World War One is because his great-grandfather that gave him the darkness ability, he was a soldier in World War One, and in the trenches is where it came to him. Now, Jackie, while fighting in that bizarre world, he comes across the German soldiers, and they're all disfigured. They're faceless, like their face has been twisted and grown over. Why am I talking about that? That's a great example of this backdrop for a horror game, or that was more of a shooter, but you get the gist. World War One is the perfect backdrop. The smoke and the fire, the ash, no man's land as a concept, the fog of war, barbed wire, dead cattle, the corpses littering the bones strewn about no man's land, the gas attacks, the different colors, the haze, the foul nature of trench warfare as a whole. I could go on and on and on about it, but without further ado, let's get in. And I have still yet to decide. We're going to decide here in the next 5 seconds whether or not we're going to play a new class or play the same class we did the first time. All right, now without further ado, let us get in to class creation here. We'll start a new game. There is an expansion, as you have guessed by now. We're going to play the base game first. I did put, for you, this is a seamless transition. I have put 24 hours between myself and this replay through, which is my apologies for that. That will not happen again. I'm looking at OBS right now, and it's okay. Everything's odoki over there. I'm seeing my cursor. Everything is right. Okay. And I'm talking okay. Yes. Levels are good. Okay. There's our check. We did it together. How fun is that? So we're going to play TRENCHFACE. Now, we did unlock a new class. And that class... Oh, what the hell? That's weird. Okay, there. Now it's working. Oh no, we can't use it because... Never mind. Disregard. Where we are playing a new game, we do not have access to the new class. So in the last playthrough, I played a sniper. As a professional marksman, they have a unique ability within the game. This playthrough, though, I'm going to play as Raider. The description is, you specialize in close quarters combat, being the strong man in the group. Your profits from anger reward savage behavior. Very interesting. So we're going to name ourselves here. What is it? X, yes. I remember it being a little off. So Z and X are the default keys for yes and no, and then everything else, Enter and E both work as an interact key. But here I'm using the, what's it called? I'm using my up and down arrows. So Observer M, very good. That is us. That is us. Forward to the trenches. Choose your game mode. We're going to play on normal. Yes, and get right in. This is a surprisingly challenging experience. Every soldier here was equipped with new respirators. Not like the ones used before. These are more of an experiment. They use thin wires carefully placed to connect our face to the respirator. Like sewing up a doll. I've seen soldiers get beaten for trying to remove them. Even when they look desperate. Only one way to remove the mask is with these locks they have on the back. Put there to restrict us from forcibly removing them. Only our superiors get to carry keys for them. Whether it was an oversight or not, the wires tend to tighten in contact. I'm still trying to get used to breathing in this. How to leave this place. There is a small village up ahead, in the woods, near where we started digging the trenches. The residents were escorted out. Should be only medics and the wounded there. If I can make it in time, I might get out of this alive. I just need one of those keys. I can feel this mask failing me. Better not waste time. Those ropes coming up from the air, or whatever that is. I know they weren't there before. Can't see where it's coming from with all this fog. So there's... Save your game, yes. Alright, file 8. Alright, very good. Here we are. Our little sprite there. We are inside of a trench. You can see no man's land out beyond. First impressions, the art style is phenomenal. And I like the simplistic nature of it. It reminds me of the Flash games that I played quite a lot of growing up. Short RPG experiences or point-and-click experiences would be more akin to what I played. But here, you see the color palette itself it's a tricolor palette, which provides just enough level of detail to make it interesting. It's not like a monochromatic color scheme. We do have 3 colors, well maybe 4 colors overall, to give distinction. So let's talk about let's break down the lore right now, what's going on. There are tethers coming from somewhere up above that we cannot see. Perhaps it is perhaps it is an entity, perhaps it is a machine or something. There is something greater than us that is tethering something to this earth, right? Or perhaps the earth itself is tethered to this thing. We don't know. They're talking about these new gas masks that they've been issued that not only require them to be stitched onto the face, but they also are locked forcibly behind the head of the individual soldier wearing said gas mask. So they're being forced to wear these masks as sort of an experiment. Now, what kind of experiment that is, we don't know yet. Perhaps there's some type of new filter being produced. Perhaps it is a compliance technique. Perhaps the war itself, where this is set in an alternate timeline, Presumably, this takes place in a Forever Winter style scenario where World War I just never ended. So perhaps as a way to enforce conscription or maintain soldiers, they are forcing them to wear these masks. Or keep soldiers on the front line, they're forcing them to wear these masks. And see, what that makes me think is that they're pumping them full of some type of stimulant, some type of psychoactive compound, perhaps. But, nevertheless, let us continue on. Now, we can interact with these barrels. These are going to be our source of finding all things good, bad, and indifferent. We shall find there. We have skills. We're carrying a double barrel, and we have the primal skill. And we have 2 other skills that are grayed out. That means we cannot activate them yet. We must activate those in combat. You see here we have a RPG style screen. We can optimize our gear, which we are already optimized. Don't have anything. We need to continue on. Very good. So RPG games are kind of new to me as a whole. I am doing a look outside playthrough. I never played Pokemon or anything like that growing up. It wasn't my cup of tea. And no harm, no foul if it is your cup of tea. It just wasn't mine in particular. So when I think of RPG games, I have limited experience, or like traditional JRPG games or anything like that. I don't have a whole lot of experience playing them. So this is definitely kind of a foray. This and Look Outside are kind of a foray into the style game for me as a whole and with the channel. We have a book here though. It's got, these are our tutorials. Guns are better than knives. You can use them for crowd control and hitting limbs otherwise too tall for you. Guns, you must be sharp with your aiming. This requires timing for each shot. It will be less effective if you miss. Some guns are easier to use than others with different timings. Ammo. Guns have a catch. Each time you shoot, you need to use bullets to reload your gun. Keep them loaded at all times. Bullets count as items. Crafting. You can craft items such as medkits or ammo. Each time you craft, you spend scraps. They're easy enough to find if you're looking. This is done with the currency of scraps, or SC, okay? And then guard. Guard helps lessen the damage you'll take. It only works on basic attacks. Guard won't work on special attacks, such as bullets. Okay. So we have a rudimentary combat system, and we have the option to engage in melee combat as well as ranged combat. Now, us playing the Raider class, we will be playing kind of a melee-heavy playthrough, it seems, and also using our special ability to create Molotov cocktails. For those of you that don't know what a Molotov cocktail is, where have you been? Are you okay? Molotov cocktails are a glass jar or bottle, anything really that can be filled with anything that can break upon impact. Could be a clay vessel for all intents and purposes, and you could stuff it with any number of flammable material, and then you stick a wick at the end of it. The original one was created using windproof candles or waterproof candles. You can also use waterproof matches. Anything that'll hold a flame, especially when being thrown. The most common Molotov cocktail we see are the Molotov cocktails with a rag stuffed down into them. But anyways, you light that up, you throw it. Hopefully it doesn't sling back on you, and you have a very hot fire, very danger. Now, if you are a silly goose, the Molotov, like I said, the Molotov cocktail is more dangerous to you than it is to others. Found cow leather. A dead cow? Why here? Interesting. So we have taken a scrap of leather off of the cow itself. These trenches are expansive, and we are going to have to kind of follow some semblance of order while walking through them. Generally speaking, when it comes to a maze, scrap pile, you found another scrap pile. Very good. When it comes to a maze, it's good to follow all directions, or follow, like, take only left turns at first, or only right turns, and just follow that all the way around. It helps keep your bearings. Look at this. We don't have the right tools. I do not know what the right tools may be. And here we have a white bunker. We shall open this. Interesting. You see, we have turned monochromatic, black and white. And here, hanging from what is presumably a tether, looks like, it's kind of indiscernible, but it kind of looks like a shank of a creature, a piece of meat. Kind of looks like a butchered animal. Oh, hello. Are you a moth? No, it is a cow. Hello. I'll shop with you, I suppose. What do you have for us? Ammunition, weapons, medical tools, cargo bag. Okay. Interesting. Alright, it's got all sorts of interesting stuff for sale. We're going to have to get armed sooner than later. I'm trying my best not to give away. I'm not going to save there yet because we haven't really done anything yet. Now, redoing this would be a pain, but we're going to be fine. We need to get on with our mission, find more remains to sell to the cow. Cows are going to be prevalent throughout this, and we'll talk about that a little bit more further on. Yes, we have a key here, the red key. Very good. We'll take that. I should go back. I can open that bunker back there. We have not yet seen a bunker, but we have found cow leather here, as well as remains, 15 of which, and a hard helmet. Very good. We'll go ahead and equip that in our first slot. What does that do? Grants us 2 agility and, or no, it grants us -2 agility, but boosts our defense. Ooh. What was that? Okay, I suppose there are hostiles in the trench now. Found 10 remains. We can continue on here. I'm gonna have to be careful. The soundtrack is something I want to talk about briefly. First aid kit. First aid kits will heal us to 100% health, no matter when they're used. There's another cow. Okay, I'm just being cautious. I've got this creeping feeling all over my body. The audio here is distorted and distressing, and it doesn't necessarily sound like anything. I think that is something inherently unique about this soundtrack. It's just noise. But war is loud and vicious and violent, and we've talked about this more times than I can count. When you listen to that soundtrack, it gives you the feeling, only a brief, small, tiny feeling of being in a trench. You know, the way trench warfare would feel to experience it firsthand, to listen to this cacophony of vicious, violent sounds, loud explosions, you know, the yells of your comrades, the yells of your superiors, or even if it's quiet, let's say it's dead quiet, you know, what do you hear? You hear people wheezing, coughing, perhaps, people laughing, joking even, you know, trying to make the most of a difficult situation. You hear superiors, you know, chewing out privates, smoking privates, whatever it happens to be. You hear dying animals in no man's land. I think that cacophony outside in the trenches really captures the brutality of the situation, the horror of the situation. And where you can't really pin down one sound in particular, it's just droning. And I'm actively trying to avoid it. You know, so sitting in here for a second, listening to this is also a humming, buzzing noise, but it's so much more peaceful than whatever is out there. And it almost makes me think, like, whether or not the specific hertz at which it's playing is, like, kind of messing with my brain or not. You know how I mean, there's creepypastas. There's plenty of evidence suggests certain sound waves. Doesn't have to be loud sounds. It can just be certain hertz played, certain frequencies played for the human ear. It makes them uncomfortable. It causes anxiety and whatnot. You know, we have brown noise and stuff like that, blue noise that causes like relaxation, and you know, it can help you meditate further, or whatever it happens to be that you're doing. But what if this one is to cause distress? I wonder. We have a map here. No, it's not. It is a notebook. I need to be taken to a doctor urgently. I write this in case someone comes in and sees me down there. I'm okay. I'm good to keep going. Please send a medic. I'll sit by that corner. You've got to get this thing off me. I can't stand the pain anymore. Interesting. Someone urging their superiors, most likely, to take them to a medic in order to get the mask off of them. So the mask itself is described as being uncomfortable to wear. I mean, it is, after all, sewn to the face of the individual soldier. No doubt that's extremely uncomfortable, and whatever they're pumping them full of through the respirator, why, for what other reason would you sew a gas mask to somebody's face, right? If not to forcibly, or, you know, force them to ingest something. So let's keep our eyes open here. How many remains do we have? 275. We are just below being able to... We are just below the amount of remains necessary for us to purchase the club. Oh! Okay, so that is an enemy. That is an enemy hanging from these mysterious tethers above. We'll talk more about that as we get over there. First, I want to attempt... I don't think I can go any further west here. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the supplies or the remains that I need in order to be successful here in this first encounter. Now, we do have an ability called Primal, which seemingly allows us to tap into that primal violence that we have inside of us. Perhaps we can deal extra damage or double damage or something, maybe even a counterattack. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Unfortunately, my dear friends, I do believe that we're going to have to face this other trench dweller in close quarters combat. It's funny, I always call characters or refer to characters in games as like the trench raider or whatnot. It's because I'm... Oh, yep, okay, here we go. Would you look at that? Looks similar to us, although his character model is red and he is suspended by his head and his hand, like a puppet almost, by strings unknown. And that makes me wonder whether or not this is a cosmic horror style scenario. Like if there is a creature or an entity that is commanding these forces from above. So we have items to use. What if we... Interesting. I don't know if we can use these outside of combat. I'm sure we can. If we... What skills do we have? Focus on melee combat. Strength and defense are greatly increased. Alright, let's hit him with the double barrel first. Let's shoot him in the chest. Ooh, and we have a unique firing method there where we have to actively click on the shells themselves to make sure that they're fired. It did warn us about that. Why don't we attack? Oh, interesting. Okay, so we are swinging at him. We're going to swing at his chest with the rock. We have, you see there, we're manually timing our attacks. And we're fighting the suspended hand, which is bizarre. The hand that fires, it seems. Oh my god. 4 hits with the rock. Very good. Very good. You have survived and found 20 remains. Alright, we have survived our first combat encounter, and we are unscathed, which is hard to believe. But we can use... We'll go ahead and use these... we don't have shotgun ammunition, do we? No shells. We are going to scavenge for scraps. I did not realize that we had to scavenge individually. But that will allow us in combat now to make a Molotov cocktail, which will in turn allow us to do double damage, hopefully. We've already been through all of this. I don't know why I'm treating it like a new area. I was eager to find more remains in order to boost our... We need 5 more. And there should be another bunker. Yes, there is. Fantastic. A syringe. Hopefully inside of this bunker, we will find... some more remains. Ooh, look at this. Very good. A rifle. Yes, we will be picking that up indeed. What is this? Another letter, perhaps? Indeed. My notes on recent experiences with this new gear. My fatigue has been significantly reduced ever since. Haven't even had the need for sleep these past few nights. My muscles don't even shake anymore from the weight of the rifle. I can keep watch as a sniper for as long as is needed. I would like to request for new canisters to be sent on the way. Send a higher dose this time. You've been starving me lately. Thank you. Yes. So our hypothesis was correct in the sense that these soldiers are being force-fed a new compound through the respirators themselves. The gas masks are a vessel in which... a delivery vessel, right, for a new stimulant, a combat drug, psychoactive stimulant. Now, it's no surprise, and it's no myth that even in modern times, combat stims exist, right? Now, stims are... That's a very nice term for them. Like in Tarkov, you see like injectable stimulants, right? What do you think is in that, right? What do you think a combat stim actually consists of? When you look at, let's say, World War II, for example, the Nazi Party, the Nazis themselves on the front lines were issued methamphetamine. Now, whether or not it was high-grade or low-grade methamphetamine, that escapes me, but they were issued methamphetamine to keep them up, right? Methamphetamine being an incredibly addictive stimulant, allowing the individual under the influence to stay awake for days at a time and function at a higher level. Now, fast forward to modern times, special operations units are often in combat. They're often issued stimulants. Now, these are more refined, quote-unquote, refined amphetamines, but they're amphetamines nonetheless. And if you think I'm lying, then look into it for yourself. But, nevertheless, let's continue on. So our unit, our side in the war, presumably, is all being issued this new stimulant. And we don't know whether or not this is the powers that be that have created this stimulant for us to be more effective on the battlefield, to wage this bizarre forever war, or what if this is coming from the creature that is puppeteering these, what is a puppet master called? They have a name, don't they? Like the person who wields the marionette rods. What are they called? Puppeteer? I guess that's... Anyways, are they, or this entity that we are not even sure if it exists, is it creating this drug and mass producing it and forcing it into the hands of our superiors? Have our superiors already fallen to the influence of this daemon? We do not know. We can continue on here. I think before we proceed on with the story, I would like to go back to that white bunker and get a save in. We also... Do we have enough? No, we still have... We can sell something, though. Indeed. Indeed, we can sell something. So we'll go back to the white bunker, talk to the cow. Still a very bizarre. I wonder what the meaning of this is. What is the purpose of having the cow act as not only our safe spot, but our trader? You know, oftentimes, and we saw this in Lost in Vivo, the safe area, the only safe area in the entire game, truly safe area, that is free from monsters and free from evil. It's a very non-oppressive atmosphere, is the save room. And here, even though, this is a bizarre area, it has a calming soundtrack compared to the rest of this, as well as a neutral face. I wouldn't say a friendly face, but a neutral face nonetheless. The color palette shifts to this white and black. It kind of draws our eye. It's a bizarre save room, but it is safe as far as we know. So it's food for thought. Let us shop first, and we'll sell. What do we have to sell here? Let's sell a scrap pile for 10 remains, and then we'll buy the club. Yes, very good. That is 6 times better, 6 points better. Now, that does make us broke, but what that does is make us more effective in combat. We use cow leather to save. Bizarre. I am going to save over our first slot, and then we'll stagger our saves from here on out. So, as soon as we get out here, I'm going to equip us. I'm going to optimize us. Yeah, see, our attack has gone up to 17. Now, if we look at the rock, that is 6 points above. Very good. So, I've spoken about trench warfare before, and I want you to understand, when I'm talking about trench warfare, I'm talking about the World War I aesthetic of trench warfare and its constituents, the alternate timelines of Trench Crusade and the darkness, World War I, the World War I battlefield from the darkness, and things like that borrow the aesthetic of World War I am not talking about modern trench warfare. I understand how horrific trench warfare is, but the aesthetic from the First World War is something that is unrivaled, in my opinion. I like it quite a lot, like many individuals. And I spoke briefly about how the revolution of technology during this time period, led the way, with the Industrial Revolution, paved the way for so many new horrors to grace the battlefield. I cannot think of a single more horrific time in all of human history than being on the front in a trench. And it's not just the weapons that are terrifying. I mean, you had bayonets the size of small swords, the Winchester Model 1897, which could be slam-fired, 5 12-gauge buckshot rounds fired from the barrel of a shotgun in 2 seconds, tops, 1.5 seconds. You see the Flammenwerfer, flamethrowers used for the first time, trench raiders, people donning armor like medieval knights and sneaking in to enemy trenches in the middle of the night to cause havoc. Cause havoc indeed. The purpose behind guerrilla warfare is not to win, it's to injure and cripple a larger military force, right? Now, if you have 2 large military forces using special operations, which at the time I'm going to call trench raider special operations, they're going into the enemy trench, and it's psychological warfare, right? You wake up and you see, near decapitated heads of your fellow soldiers who were on guard duty last night. I guarantee that makes trench warfare feel almost supernatural or paranormal, like there are creatures sneaking into the trench at night. I just, this is the perfect backdrop for horror, I think. And all that crazy stuff aside, the elements of warfare and the facts of warfare and whatnot, war totally aside, think about the logistics of spending months or even years living in a trench, right? Everyone should be familiar with trench foot, a particular gangrenous affliction that afflicted many soldiers who spent a long time in the wet, muddy conditions that were the trenches. All right, you see these wooden planks here? They are to try to provide some relief to allow our feet to stay out of the mud. Trenches are they're dug out of the earth, right? They are, unnatural channels, unnatural canals. And the earth is always going to, water is a eroding force. It's going to continue to shape the earth back into what it was, right? And the earth is going to constantly be bent around the will of water. It's just the way it is. So you have humans waging war on each other in these awful, awful circumstances, and then they're creating these unnatural trenches, these tunnel systems on the surface, and dealing with the repercussions of doing so. It's truly horrific. It is absolutely horrific, and that's not even touching the surface of disease being spread through the trenches, or things like lice, or any bacterial infection that you can think of. Staph, etc., being rampant in the trenches. Anyways, I have talked far enough about that. I've talked long enough about that. I'm losing my mind. Cut it all. Cut everything. You have to forgive me. I am going on. I am on a tangent for some reason, and I am having difficulty speaking. I'm getting kind of tongue-tied. We have the ability to go up and out of the trench here. Perhaps we'll do that. Can we? I see a guy. Oh, he's patrolling. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Very good. We snuck right by him. We can use rudimentary stealth here. We found some cow leather. Very good. Health syringe. Another health syringe. Now, getting back is going to be just as difficult. And you see here, the color palette has changed. We have taken on that reddish, or not reddish, we have taken on that dark red hue. What the hell is that? Oh my god. That's a... Okay. Well, the capriote wearing villain has shown its head. Very interesting. I thought we had left Blasphemous behind us for some time. I have a white bunker here. I'm going to open this up, but we're not going to stop there yet. We're going to continue on. We don't need a save right now. What we do need is scrap. Yes, we'll collect all the scraps we can. We need scrap, we need meds, and we need to be on the lookout for weapons. Found a first aid kit, very nice. Let us see what we have in here. Yes, the scrap pile, we'll take that. What else do we have? Doesn't seem like we have anything else. Okay. Not anything interactable, at least, for the time being. Let's creep this way quietly. This takes us back, does it not? Yes. Okay. So, there is a pretty set and rigid area in which we can traverse. We're going to continue along the trench here and put ourselves up on the surface, or into no man's land. Very good. You see, we just crawled right out of there. I am going to try to avoid this capriote wearing spear creature. Kind of looks like a evil World War I narwhal. Let's stick to the corners here. Yes, we can pass him. So this game as a whole, even though stylistically it's two-dimensional, and it's very, look at this here, Revolver, yes, absolutely, we'll pick that up. Very good. Though this is a two-dimensional, it's artistic, but it's not, it's not breaking any, barriers with art, by no means. It's got a very oppressive atmosphere. The feeling of playing this game is exceptionally oppressive. And it also feels like Silent Hill is my best comparison. It feels like we are here for some reason. I feel like we're here against our will. Like we have created this world for ourselves. Let us push this ladder down. Very good. And that allows us to traverse back and forth. We could save here, but I kind of want to continue on and see what we can get into. Found 5 remains. Very good. Yes, very good. Alright. More remains indeed. Let's open up the gearbox, and we have found light boots. What does this do for us? Let's optimize and then check. Boots made for more flexible movement. Chance to counterattack. Very good. Very good. I had no idea that we had the ability to do that. So that's very neat. Very neat indeed. Let's continue on our quest here. We are most definitely in enemy... Ooh, we're definitely in enemy territory. We need to be cautious. More cautious. Oh, can we evade him? We might be able to. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let us use our skill here. Okay, we'll use the revolver. We will go for headshots. Let's try this. Okay, pop, pop, pop. Very good. Perfect. That has destroyed the body. Now we punish the hand. Good. Yes, 49. Not too shabby. We're hitting hard. We're hitting hard. Much better than the rock. Alright, very good. We have survived and found 20 remains, and we are right back into combat. So what we'll do is... we can make a Molotov... make throwable flames. Let's use our rifle and shoot him in the chest, and then we'll... Ooh, that's very dangerous. Okay. Let's punish the body. We missed! For Christ's sakes, we can't be missing. Okay, perfect. Punish the hands. Very good. I like how the soundtrack changes when we transition to combat. Alright, we survived. And in our inventory, we have... what? A ammo box, which reloads all guns at once. Only one use, though, which is just fine for us. That is just fine for us. Found some scraps and a syringe, it seems. Very good. Now, I really didn't want to waste all of our ammo there. But perhaps, if I remember correctly, there is... Ooh, nope. Nope, 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 nope. I want nothing to do with that foul beast. Oh, there's another one. Well, Christ all alive. Christ almighty. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm not very good at evading. We can attack the body, though. Like we have been. So, you see... Okay, we did kill it. Very good. Ooh, okay. Those capriotti wearing things are referred to as spearheads, and they are the bane of my existence. They are extremely dangerous. Extremely, extremely dangerous. And they have a special attack where they take that spearhead of theirs and they ram us with it. Something that can kill us instantly. It does roughly 50 damage. We do not want to be victim or fall victim to that at all. Okay, found another ladder to push down. What trench does this connect us to? Is this... This box is now empty. What trench is this? Interesting. I have no idea where we are right now. I am moderately confused. Where? Oh, no. Okay, hold on. Oh, I wish you wouldn't. I really wish you would get on with yourself. We don't have the ability to look either. There's no looking ahead. It's what you see is quite literally what you get. Oh, okay. Well, God bless. All right, let's go back. We'll take the ladder back up into no man's land, and we'll have to do the loop-de-loo around this Capriote freak creature. I don't like them very much at all. They do far too much damage for me. There is something special in this trench. There is something special. You have to believe me. I sound like a crazy person. Okay, so it's either fight the Capriote, the spearheads, or move on. This barrel has been searched, but we left this behind like a loony, did we? Found shotgun shells. No, not the worst thing, I suppose. Not the best. 5 remains. 5 remains. Very good. All good things. There's the yellow trench, or the yellow bunker. There's a shooter down here. We're going to stealth around him. As stealthful as one may hope to be here. Look at this. We are the invisible trench raider, the invisible man. We move silently. Our steps are like that of a cat. We are nimble. Perhaps down here past these hedgehogs we'll find something. Yes, a cow. Very good. Cow leather. Good for us. Good for you. Good for me. This leads us somewhere. Where does this lead us? Ooh. Okay, we're gonna play loop-de-loo with you, I guess. Okay, very good. We have evaded our pursuers. I don't know, once we get spotted, if we have the ability to dodge them. I've never successfully ran away from one of them. I don't know. This has already been searched. Found 10 remain. What do you mean? It's already been searched. We were here once. Were we really? It's a cow corpse down below. Oh, there's the save. Very good. Very good indeed. This is a massive trench. Well, I mean, it can't be that big, but it feels much larger than the rest. Stack of planks of wood. What are we to do with that? This barrel's already been searched. 10 remains. Huh. This is, I believe, oh, let us see. Should we open the... I'm going to open the door because that's what I did last time. Let's sit back here. All right. Bear with me. I think you're about to bear witness to something great. Something whose name shall not be spoken until we see if it works. Yes! Hallowed be its name. The Giving Barrel returns. I was so worried that we weren't going to have this scene because this was my favorite part of the first. This barrel is the only barrel in the entire game that does this, and I checked every single one of them. This barrel is bugged and it's not been removed, so that means that the bug is a feature. This, my dear friends, is the blessed Giving Barrel. It's going to lead us to great victory in the trenches. And as you see, we are going to get filthy rich in items, supplies, gear, and currency. Oh, hallowed be thy name, the Giving Barrel. Oh, it is beautiful. It is a beautiful life. It is a beautiful life, my dear friends. I shall see you in a little bit. All right, my friends. My dear friends, we have saved our game. We will remember the position of the Giving Barrel. Hallowed be its name. Without it, you know, I truly believe things happen for a reason, and I do believe in fate, and I believe that the Giving Barrel, and I used to not believe in fate. Here we are. Bleeding. We're not bleeding, are we? You see the blood drop above its head. Bizarre. No, but if the game chooses to give us the Giving Barrel, hallowed be its name, then we shall prostrate ourselves in front of the giving barrel and accept its blessings. Who would we be to not accept its blessings? If you give me power, I'm going to use it. I think that's just the nature of the beast. Indeed, I think it's human nature. So, let us eliminate this soldier. When I think about these soldiers, let's focus on melee and attack the body. When I think about these soldiers, are these members of, our side? Okay, well that doesn't work. That actually kind of sucks. We'll just beat the hand to death, but bizarrely enough, Primal isn't as strong as I imagined it being. Interesting. So when we think of this world, we look identical to these soldiers, and anyone who knows anything about World War I, for the most part, militaries at the time used different or differing color patterns in their uniforms, and the clear distinction that you could see not only in the weapons was in helmets. In helmets themselves, there was clear distinction in the headgear worn by the individual soldier as well as their officers or NCOs. So, these soldiers that we're fighting, they look like us. Are we a rogue, perhaps? Is that why? Because we are deserting. So are the powers that be, have they figured out that we have deserted our post, and that's why our fellow friends are turning on us? Or what is it? What is it that is causing this? Causing us to be on the receiving end of the violence here? Or have we stolen this uniform? Were we not a soldier at all? Or are we a traitor that has been found out? What are we exactly? I don't know. That has not been answered for me. Let us optimize here. Very good. Very good indeed. We have the Ace of Spades. What does it do for us? Feeling lucky. Better critical hit rate. Well, we sure do love a critical hit. I'm all about rolling the dice to do better damage. Now, we know that in the far reaches of the right-hand side of this trench, very good, scrap pile, that there is a white bunker. We are on the lookout for a yellow bunker key. This is the key that we have not found yet. So perhaps we can run across another red bunker. Oh, speak of the devil, look at this. Very good. We will enter in. Oh, it's aptly named the key room. Perhaps we'll find a key here. Yes, very good. Medical supply box, first aid kit. All is well here. Found some remains in a scrap pile. What is this? For those who like abusing the stimulant, know this will happen to you. For example, a soldier stole a lot of canisters for himself. The respirator is designed to inhale a large dose, which gradually reduces the intake when worn. Switching canisters to get a consistently higher dose will leave you like it left him. When his mask was removed, it was clear the excess blank in his face until the bone was visible. It is not an issue with the locks on the respirators. Follow your dose and you won't need this happening to you. Again, you're not to ask any questions regarding the stimulant or the respirators. If you have any issues, you shall go to your NCO, the closest NCO near you, and address it to them. That is all. Interesting. So we're reading. It seems like we're either trailing a character, or I don't know if it's one character or if it's multiple characters. There was somebody abusing the stimulant, which of course is the psychoactive drug is, being pumped into everybody. It's probably having some pretty vicious effects on people with addictive personalities. And one soldier in particular was abusing the stimulant to the point where this is bizarre because you think that they'd want to keep the mask on, but one of these soldiers has physically removed the mask from himself or has melted his face away by taking too much of this gaseous drug, exposing bone underneath. Now that surely is horrific. Oh, and you see here, we'll open the gearbox. We found body armor. Very nice. Let us go ahead and equip that. Body armor, boots, and ace of spades. Very nice. I'm going to pick these up, and I'm going to interact with this before we pick up that key. I can't open it. There's something pulling against this door. Okay. Ooh, it gave me a chill through my body. I don't like that very much. Looks like the bunker key. We'll pick that up. Now I can open that bunker. Yes, absolutely. What is that? Someone else here. We can... Oh, yes, okay. A spearhead has come in. Is it only... Yep. Guess we'll fight you first. Oh, no. Okay, there is a second. We just couldn't see them. I find that bizarre. We're going to attack with... Let's make a Molotov. No. Let's... use the Molotov? Yes. Oh, very good. That does a hell of a lot of damage. Wow. Okay, so we're going to use our rifle now, and we're going to shoot the body of the Capriote. Very good. Perfect round. And he is dead. Now we move on over to the soldier who is on fire. And let's let him have it with the revolver. Pop, pop, pop. Very good. He has been eliminated. Nope. We have been shot. We have taken a round. First, we must stop the bleed. And then we beat the hand. I'm surprised that that flame didn't do more. It didn't do bad, per se, but it didn't do the best. We're going to use a first aid kit, as well as reload both our rifle and revolver. We have to do these individually unless we use the ammo box. Very good. Okay. Now we have the yellow key, my dear friends. We can now move to greener pastures. But I don't think there are going to be greener pastures awaiting us. People always say that the grass is greener on the other side. That is a myth. Prior to us moving on here, we are going to save our game with 1 cow leather. Yes, very good. We have the keys. We have the keys to the yellow bunker, and perhaps the yellow bunker holds our salvation within it. Now, I don't think that is to be the case, but again, I said hope. Hope can truly change the tide of war. So we must hold on to hope. We must maintain a positive attitude as we crawl through these trenches. No matter what type of dark spirits lie ahead. Dark spirits and violent entities. Now, where does that go, I wonder? Can we go this way? I'm going to check it out. Oh, yes, we're back to the first trench. We do need to go this way, as a matter of fact. I don't recall there being a... Oh, yes, we can just... Yes, okay, we haven't seen any of these barrels. That's phenomenal. Very good. Our get-rich-quick scheme is working out in our favor, indeed. Let's continue on. Perhaps we'll find another weapon or something up here. I don't remember seeing anything, but you never know. We can't see the center of no man's land from the trenches by design. It's a bunker we've already opened. We can push this ladder down. I think we're going to follow this ladder here. Yes, very good. Very good indeed. Now, the yellow bunker was... There were 2 yellow bunkers. One was here in the trench, in the first trench, and the other was in the center of the second trench, I believe. I have to keep our eyes peeled. I don't totally remember. We already searched all this. We don't have a map function either, so everything is, all this navigation is done by us. We have to keep a mental map if we wish to remember where the hell we're going. I think we're onto something. Now, I could be wrong. I often am, but yes, we are. Okay, we started here. This is where our quest began. And you see how quickly I've forgotten where we came from. We're just running through the trenches. You see here, we have an enemy soldier who changes direction. Oh, Christ. I totally messed that up. Oh, perhaps I can... No, they're so much faster than me. Okay. Unfortunately, we are going to have to fight him. That's okay. We're going to do primal, and we're going to attack the body. Punish the body? Yes, that was a one-hit kill. Very good. Seems like the critical attacks may be working for us after all. Oh, yeah. Punish the body, and then we punish the hand. Yes, very good. Okay, that wasn't so bad. The hand that fires, the hand that holds the weapon that fires the weapon, holds the weapon that fires the weapon. That's redundant. The amount of redundancy in my speaking in this episode is beyond me. You have to forgive me. I'm feeling a little wacky today. Now, I feel like often days I feel a little wacky. Oftentimes I feel a little wacky, but today in particular, I've got ooh, I don't know if we can we outmaneuver you? We can, as a matter, oh, well, we have to fight him regardless, but we almost did. We almost outmaneuvered him. Alright, we're going to use primal and punish the body. Now, unfortunately, we did not get that beautiful one-hit kill. I think it's hilarious that he kicks us, and it shows the footprint on either side of the screen, so it's implying that he's kicking us with both feet, which I don't know why I think that's so funny, but I do. Very good. We survived. We are going to have to use a syringe, but that's okay, because hallowed be its name, the giving barrel gave us plenty. Oh, hello. Okay. Barbed wire. Best if I avoid it. Alright, we have environmental hazards now. This is the first time that we have seen ourselves in the blue color palette. This colorway in particular makes us feel, or makes me feel, cold. It gives the soldier bag, very cool. Gives me the impression that we're in a root cellar almost. And that it's dark. It definitely gives me the feeling that we're in a dark and cold room. The barbed wire being spread about doesn't really make any sense, does it? As well as the... Oh my god! Okay. Hi. What are you? No, I didn't expect there to be a spider woman down here. Let's, kill it with fire, first and foremost. Let's, oh my god. Okay, we're gonna have to... Let's get primal. Mother raises her legs. No, that's okay. I don't like that so much. Why are they referring to it as mother? We need scrap. Okay. That's fine. We need more scrap. And then we need a syringe. Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. Skill. Make Molotov. Why can't we do that? Skill. Okay, make Molotov. Throw Molotov, maybe. I think that would be That'd be wise of us. Yes, there we go. Throw the Molotov, and then we're going to hit it. We're going to shoot it in the face with the rifle. Now, this creature is unique because it does not feature any... Now, we're going to use the first aid kit here. You see, it doesn't have anything tethering it to this world, which is bizarre to me. Yes, 3 hits. I don't know. I'm almost convinced. Mother feels weaker. Okay, let's fight her then. Let's go primal. Alright, we're going to have to use a first aid kit. That's alright. And then we're going to have to fight. Let's beat the brakes off of her. Hit her with the trench club. Okay, very good. 50 remains for that. Very good. We did put an end to the mother, the spider mother. What a bizarre creature and bizarre naming for the creature. I don't quite know what that's all about. That kind of makes me feel that several things make me feel that that's a unique enemy. I mean, not only because it's the enemy itself is unique. The color palette shifts in here. The tone in this bunker in particular is different than the other trenches thus far. And I know that's just to create separation, but it's also a stronger entity, right? So we're seeing an enemy that is not only stronger, but it's also a named entity, and it's also it's got a different look, it's got a different shape than the other enemies, as well as, come on brain, as well as not being tethered via the ropes that the rest of these creatures are tethered by. That makes me think that perhaps this is an extension of the entity itself. If this is an entity after all, I still do not know. Or whether or not it is a greater piece to the puzzle. Makes me think that perhaps the ropes that are holding these creatures on the front line are more symbolic than they are physical, if that makes sense. Like the soldiers are tethered to the front line by this sense of purpose or duty, the innate sense of purpose or duty. What the hell is that? What is that noise? A number station? Must be nearby. So, okay. Hold on. Take all your thoughts and collect them real quick. I'm going to collect mine. Listen to that eerie voice. Alright. I'm gonna have to gush and talk, I do believe. But I want to talk about number stations. For those of you that don't know... Well, actually, let's talk about this in the context now. We're now in the third trench, and it takes a bluish hue, which could be interpreted as this area has been gassed recently. Now, blue would not be a traditional color you'd see in chemical gas, but it could be in this alternate timeline. Now, number stations, I don't think number stations existed at the time of World War I, but if this conflict has been or if it's been persisting past the end of World War I, you know, well into the 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever it happens to be, then it very well could have, you know, been created. The concept of a number station could have been created in this context. That technology is well beyond the Western Front, though. So when we think about number stations, right, I think about Swedish Rhapsody or the Duga 3 Woodpecker, which isn't necessarily a number station, but it's still radio broadcast, right? Number stations are terrifying, and we all know the number stations from Oh, you see 3 corpses, 4 corpses hanging now, 5 corpses hanging. Okay, bizarre. But when we think of number stations, of course, Call of Duty Black Ops, everyone and their grandmother is going to think about Call of Duty Black Ops, right? Let us purchase rifle, revolver, rifle. Yes, okay. And then save our game. Number stations were used. Actually, no one really knows where number stations came from in the first place. No one really knows why number stations exist. But it is hypothesized that they exist in order to transmit messages to sleeper cells. So the sleeper cell being an agent. And you know, there's plenty. I'm not insulting your intelligence. I'm simply talking. A sleeper cell is somebody who has been programmed, like a computer or an executable, a human being that has been programmed to follow a set of instructions once they hear a coded phrase. Right? It's a form of brainwashing. MK Ultra that everyone knows about. The horrific CIA experiments were conducted in part to see if it was possible to do that. Now, do we know whether or not there are sleeper cells, embedded among us or out in the world? No, we do not. What the hell is that? Ooh, I didn't like that very much. Looks like a slug made of bone. Anyways. Number stations, MK Ultra. Swedish Rhapsody is the best known example from a horror perspective that I can think of. And there is a movie out there called Banshee Chapter. Banshee Chapter is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It is an absolute gem. If you have not seen the Banshee Chapter, please do yourself a favor and watch it. My wife... Oh, that doesn't look passable. My wife and I are both terrified of it. And actually, she doesn't know this yet, but we're going to watch it again. But it follows a pretty simple found footage premise. Movies like The Conspiracy, I think it was called The Conspiracy, also did this, where it's, a group of friends. Trench 4, very cool. Hold on. Let's talk about this real quick before I get too distracted. You see the green haze here in the 4th trench definitely makes me think of chemical warfare. Chlorine gas taking on a greenish hue, which chlorine gas was frequently used in the trenches, along with mustard gas. Anyways, in the Banshee chapter, there is a lady whose friend goes missing, and she is, I can't remember what her profession is, but I'm going to say an investigative journalist. So she goes searching for her friend who was doing research into a very specific strain, not strain, but a very specific type of dimethyltryptamine, DMT. Everyone knows DMT. Some people use it recreationally. They call it the spirit molecule, right? It's this very potent psychoactive compound that is contained within every human being's brain, within your pineal gland. Dimethyltryptamine is also said to be released when an individual dies. So, take all that. It causes extremely vivid hallucinations, abstract geometry, all sorts of very interesting stuff can be seen if you're under the influence of dimethyltryptamine. Now, the trip itself, as they call it, lasts roughly 5 to 10 minutes, but the effects of which feel like a lifetime. So people will, be in this psychoactive state for 5 to 10 minutes, but feel like it's been 10 years. Anyways, in that world, they believe that searching into this, that his digging into this dimethyltryptamine -20 or whatever it's called, that he's been abducted or taken, right, by the government or, yada, yada, yada. The whole thing is that this is the chemical that was used on patients that were being tortured under the MK Ultra directive, and acts as a... Okay, if you haven't seen it, spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. Get out of here. Go on. Skedaddle. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. Go on. You've been warned. In about 5 seconds, I'm going to start talking about it. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. All right, now that all the nerds are gone, here's the down low. In that movie, she thinks that the government might have something to do with it, yada yada. MK Ultra is the overarching theme. You have this Hunter S. Thompson character who we find out at the end of the movie was actually a member of MK Ultra as a test subject. But it's the drug itself is turning your brain into a receiver, right? So you're seeing into, or you're becoming a beacon for this other dimension, right? It's not like a sleeper cell style case, which would be the standard culprit. But no, your brain's being turned into a receiver for these other dimensional beings. There's an SCP that's very similar to this concept. It's the goggles. You put the goggles on, you see a different world where there's hostile entities trying to kill you. They are very similar. It is loosely based on the H.P. Lovecraft story From Beyond, which follows a similar premise. But Banshee Chapter has one of the best executed jump scares of all time. There are two of them I can think of. The opening jump scare, which if you know, you know, that's terrifying. That is a terrifying jump scare. I think about it often. I think about that movie often, too. It's one of my favorites. Definitely top 10 horror movies. Maybe even like top 7. On top of that, there's a scene where her friend, I think her name's Kaylee, goes to an abandoned housing district, right? And in the abandoned housing district, or like this development, it's an abandoned housing development out in the middle of the desert. She goes and she finds this house that her friend went to. She's following her via GPS, I believe. And then she goes down into the basement of this house and she finds like recording software and different stuff. I can't remember if it's actually like a radio receiver or transmitter, whatever it is, or if it's just security equipment. She finds something though, and she finds out, she's down there for a long time, like a good solid 5-10 minutes in the movie itself. She finds out that Kaylee also went down into that basement and crawled under the staircase that she walked down. Ugh, I'm getting chills thinking about it. The basement's black, it's dark, and she's, working under flashlight. So she turns around after discovering this via security camera or whatever it happened to be, or GPS signal, that Kaylee is still under those stairs. So she, begins to freak out, and it does kind of that Hereditary style jump scare, and she starts getting freaked out, and then there's a chase sequence. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, please go see it. And I'm sorry that I am bumbling like a moron today. I'm just really excited and trying to get it out really quickly. But go watch Banshee Chapter. All right, enough gushing. I can hear it closer here. It's nearby. I'm so sorry for subjecting you to this game's awful number station as well. So it's bizarre to me, too, that they'd use the number station when they've already... using a number station in conjunction with the gas that is coming... what the hell's this? Feels like the surface of someone's tongue. It's blocking the path. Okay. How about no? But, the gas itself is definitely causing severe adverse side effects on the soldiers, as well as some positive side effects from a combat perspective. But all that aside, why would you have to use a number station as well in order to influence them? Presumably it's to influence their own soldiers. Or are they broadcasting it as a form of psychological warfare against the enemy? Oh, there's a... It's a Capriote boy. Let's put him in the dirt. Wow. Look at that environment behind us. Very cool. Let's hit him with the rifle. Let's hit him in the chest. Kaboom. That was a good shot. And then we'll attack with our club. Okay, we hit him in the head. We did not mean to do that. Hold on. Fight, attack, chest. Perfect. We have eliminated him. Very good. Very good indeed. We are going to take a moment to reload our rifle. And let's check our health, too. We need a syringe. Alright, we're good. So, this is definitely where the game starts to... I mean, if the spider mother wasn't enough to say, hey, something weird's happening here, then most definitely now would be the time that you go, hey, something's up, right? Okay, even before the spider mother, the spearheaded creatures, the Capriote guys I keep calling them, they should have told you that something is very, very wrong, and that something is not, whatever it is, it's not, this is not the effects of standard combat. You know, this is not just shell shock or, you know, the effects of post-traumatic. This is a nightmare created either by the gas itself or by some entity that is unbeknownst to us. Right? Alright, perfect kill. Very good. We're going to want to buy some rifle rounds coming up. Oh, hello! And presumably here, yes, this is our number station. Thank God. Finally get a moment of reprieve from that awful droning. Surely that is not good. Surely that is not good for our mental state to be listening to that, regardless of if it has actual psychological effects or not. Okay, we're back to Trench 3. Now that we've turned this off, what are we to do? No. Can we perhaps... I think he went left. I think we might be able to sneak past here. Can we do that? Yes. And then we'll go all the way over. Yes, 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 I'm a genius. Oh. Well, not that smart. Okay. So we have to fight one of them, I think. Unless we can get up here, which we can. We can get up here. Oh. Oh my God, we're bleeding. It's okay. Okay. So let's use a bandage to quell our bleeding and attack. Let's attack the body. The revolver and the rifle, if we hit... okay, I'm just going to use the rifle. It does the most damage. Okay. So we're going to attack the body with our club. Yes, eliminated. Very good. Now let us hit ourselves with a health syringe. Very good. And reload our rifle again. The gameplay loop is surprisingly satisfying, and once you figure out how combat works, it is smooth. It is very smooth and very fun. Now, it's... Okay, so I'm saying it's smooth as if I'm not only clicking. It's intuitive. Making us, you know, gamble our hits on, you know, our reflexes. That's very cool to me. I like that. I like... having to be precise in order to, you know, make precise shots or to actually hit the enemy with our club. It definitely makes something that could be kind of boring. You know, combat in RPGs is not particularly fun, right? It's chance based. Look Outside is an example of that. How does Look Outside make combat fun? You know, it's got cool animations, really cool enemies. You know, this has more of a flat art style. Even though the theme is really cool, the aesthetic is really cool, the art style is much more flat. So there's not a lot for us to look at directly that's like, you know, capturing our eye, but the combat itself is capturing my attention, and that is supremely important. And I like that quite a lot. So, we did not have to come up here, though. Oh... I get sing-songy when I get frightened. It's funny, you should see me in a haunted house. I am the same way. I do the you know, it's just the nature of the beast. I can't help it. Oh yes, where are we? The forest. Very good indeed. What lies beyond the trench? I feel like we're moving really, really fast here. Look at those creatures down below. Skeletal worms slithering about. Another Capriote boy over there. I'm going to try to maintain our distance. Yes, I don't know how, but we successfully stealth by him. Give me your bits, please. Okay, we can't step over that cow. Of course not. It's silly of me to have assumed. We can jump into the trench, though. The forest trench. And I don't know where this is taking us. I would really like to save. I think that would be a wise course of action. We're going to have a hell of a lot to redo in the event we catch a stray. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. That's okay. That's all right. We can avoid that. Now, it's either fight the... Jesus Christ, it's really kind of forcing my hand here. I'd like to avoid fighting that ground whale if possible. Oh, look! The game said, say less. We got you. We got you. You just step on up. Climb up the ladder here. Very good. Very. Let's use some of these scrap piles, too, while I'm thinking of it. We have a ton. I think it's bizarre that you have to use them like a consumable in order to have them, right? I mean, we're picking up scrap. We should have scrap, right? Okay, he's a little close. It's either... Okay. Well, we're gonna have to fight him. Well, maybe not. Okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna have to fight him. That's alright. Let's, hit him with the rifle. Maybe we'll get lucky. 133, attack the oh, we attacked the head, didn't we? Jesus Christ. Alright, we survived. Of course we did. We are a better soldier. Let's use a syringe and reload our rifle. I think we're heading towards the, a finale here. It definitely feels like it, doesn't it? Interesting. Remnants of a house. Could you imagine what No Man's Land sounds and smells like with its desolate landscape? This forest is surprisingly intact, but I know it does say in the game lore that this takes place, or the forest is outside of the trenches, but you see, it's not safe. Ooh. Interesting. We're not safe from the trenches. These piles of wood or, you know, and these destroyed structures are proof of that. I think this might be our objective. Found the mask key. After this, there's no going back. I'm confident in our ability. Are you? Do you think we can do this? Should we save? No, we're not going to. Forward onto dawn, we say. Oh, Christ. Hello, young man. What can I do for you? You'd like to join? I'll get something for you to sign on. How old are you? Right. That won't work here. Why don't you go outside and have a birthday? Have a birthday? What a bizarre thing to say. Oh. Yes, indeed. My God, look at our face. We've removed the mask. Oh, and there were definitely negative side effects to doing that. Forest. Get here now. Need dose? Short window left. Okay. For the first time since we started playing, there is absolutely no ambient sound aside from our footsteps. I'm not really sure where we're supposed to go. So we'll just walk off into the forest, huh? No, we can't. And walk further north, perhaps? No, okay. Look at those faces, those twisted skulls. Alright, I guess we're supposed to walk back towards the trenches. Let's see what awaits us there. I like how it leaves us with our thoughts here. For the first time, it's allowing us to think, really, truly think about, you know, what we're seeing. Our character is disfigured beyond belief, and it seems like he's smiling. I know it might just be pareidolia, but definitely seems like he's smiling. Let me see here. The creatures are taking on a very humanoid form, which is bizarre to me. And the cows have gone red. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I'm going to try to be cautious here. Well, okay, there's no option. Yeah, these are definite... Oh, look at us. My God. Let's hit him with the rifle. Perfect. And punish the body. Okay, these guys are definitely tougher than the others. Oh, I hit him in the... Christ alive. Alright. Hit him in the body. My God. Significantly tougher. Okay, we're going to try to avoid combat from now on. Okay, we did put him in the dirt. My God, was he difficult to kill. Bizarre. That is very bizarre to me. Health syringes are dreadful. Dreadful indeed. Let's reload our rifle as well. We have a set amount of bullets left. I don't know if we can save now. And the other thing I don't know is whether or not this trench is the same trench from before. Oh yes, you see here, we do have a white bunker and revolver bullets. Very nice. 4, 5. Still 5 corpses. I'm still unsure about what the symbology behind the hanging corpses are and why there's a cow in a room with what is presumably a meat locker, right? It's bizarre. It's definitely bizarre. I think we're so close to the end, we might as well get rid of those. And let's get rid of these. Let's get rid of almost all of them. Okay. And then we'll go over to the buy screen. And we're going to need several first aid. Several rifle rounds. And shotgun shells. We can do a triple whammy style attack with all of those. That's as good as it's gonna get. And then use our bandages, buy the rest of the bandages, and now we are officially broke. We'll save our game, and this will be our last save, my dear friends, before we face the end, I do believe. It's bizarre. It's truly bizarre. The color palette shift is very, very strikingly noticeable to me. And here we go with the soundtrack coming back. And in a bad way. The cows themselves giving us ammo now instead of leather, which I find to be strange. I find taking leather off the cows to be strange anyways. Oh, here we are. Are we marching forward? Oh, this has already been searched. Strange. Are we marching forward to our doom or to our salvation? something tells me that the answer is not going to be so cut and dry. The trench is shifting before us. I really think we're in a Silent Hill style scenario. Every time I think about health syringe, remains, bunch of dead cows everywhere. 30 remains. Can't spend them on anything. It's very, okay. Moving on to a new area. Here we are in the forest. Once again, except this is the Black Forest. Something tells me we're heading towards our damnation. I just can't tell. Before we continue on, can we use our skills? Yes, we can. Oh, I am just so dumb. So dumb. Sometimes. I apologize. If you've been watching this, like, why aren't you doing that? You know why I haven't been doing that? Because I didn't know. I apologize. Lord have mercy. We can use our skills outside of combat. Unbelievable. I really shock myself sometimes. Look at that. Holy hell. Jeez Louise. Okay, whatever. We won't talk about that. This has been one hell of a recording. I've put more time into recording this than some of the series that you've seen on the channel. Found cow leather. Very good. What is this? It's bizarre to find a white cow amongst these red cows. 4 ammo boxes. We're definitely here at the end, my dear friends. I wonder if we continue on, if there's something else to be seen out here. 7 scrap piles. Holy hell. No, it's just the forest. 'Tis but the forest. And these cows. First aid kits. Now, we would be silly not to stock up prior to going in. Let's use all these scrap piles. I know we can make ammunition. We could have been making ammunition this whole time, but we don't really need it. We have plenty. We need something to spend our money on anyways, or else what the hell's the point, you know? Guess this time we can make, look at this, make shotgun ammo. We have 5 Molotovs, alright. Once more into the fray. Oh, hello. A soldier like us. A deserter. No. Another monster. And I was almost done here. Don't worry. I'll make this quick. Just stay still. No. No, I'm afraid we are to put you down. Use a Molotov and then attack. Or no, we'll do primal. Okay, he hit us with flame. He is a flame trooper. Okay, we can't pick where we hit. We just have to strike. Hit him for 69. Let's hit him with... Let's throw another Molotov because we can't... What's going on here? It's not letting us use our... strange. It's not letting us use our skills. I am going to use a... Let's use a health syringe. And then we'll swing with our club. It's not letting us use any skill. Oh, okay, there they are. Thank God. It's a rifle. Then the revolver. Pop, pop, pop. Very good. And then we hit them with the double barrel from under our coat. Call us Richard Harrow. Very good. And then syringe to make sure we can, yes, take the next round. And then we hit with our trench club. We missed! So, oh my god. I am causing us great embarrassment. I am so sorry, my dear friends. Use an ammo box. It's alright. He should be close. He should be close to the end. I might just be talking out the side of my head, though. But I think we're killing him. Yes! Very good. We've eliminated the Flammenwerfer. Oh, something is creeping down from the ceiling. What are you? Hello. Okay. Well, this is bizarre. We have a corpse suspended by 3 tethers. Let's attack those tethers. I wonder... I don't know what this is meant to represent. This is definitely giving Silent Hill, isn't it? Like, this creature is the representation of our sins in combat or something. Right? And for the first time, too, the volume of the music is much louder. Let's throw a Molotov at it. Let's throw another Molotov. Alright, and use a first aid kit. Yes, and an ammo box. So, the volume itself is extremely loud on this audio track. We cut one of the ropes. Phenomenal, phenomenal. Now we must use a health syringe. Alright. And then we'll attack with the revolver, starting from left. We'll go left to right. Very good. All hits. Let's transition to our double barrel. I don't know, this thing has a very distinct red color palette. The background looks bloody and violent. It just seems like the embodiment of rage. Now, whether or not that rage is our own is unknown. Or if it's someone else's rage. I can't tell. I really, really think that we might be the aggressor here. This might be this might be a representation of something more abstract. Does that make sense? Let's transition and shoot it. See, all the other creatures we've seen have taken on... They've been very blatantly monsters or, you know, enemy soldiers. This one, on the other hand... So, the character that we killed prior to coming into this boss arena, he seemed like he was well within his right mind, you know? He did not seem to be under the influence of this thing, this entity, which could be what we're fighting now. I'm not sure. But he kind of looked like us, right? He definitely looked more like a friend than a foe, and he wasn't tethered. And the only other creature that we haven't seen tethered, oh, very good, we have survived, was the spider mother. We have survived. We have nothing to say about the cow. Oh no. Wow. That's rough. Hello there. Where are your parents? Do you hear that? Those are friends. They are here to rescue us. They're friends. Stay in there for now. I'll go and open it for them. Don't open this closet no matter what. He's shot on sight. Open that closet. Oh. What do you think that thing was doing with the kid? Doesn't matter. Should we get it down from there? No. Leave it up there. We're leaving. Well then. Right. You're of age to join. Just sign right here. Ending A. Wow. So that, my dear friends, was TRENCHFACE. And this is the second time I've completed it, and I did get the same ending. I made sure that we got the same ending. But, you know, my analysis remains the same. I think this was most definitely a Silent Hill style scenario where our character had done something awful, and I believe in their mind. So here's what I think happened. I think that little boy is not our character. I think that little boy is the character that we see joining, talking to a recruiter in these black screen images, right? We see two conversations being had where you're not of age to join and then you're of age to join, sign here, right? I think that's the little boy. I think this is, you know, the alternate timeline looping in on itself. Our character, the TRENCHFACE, the monster, I believe that soldier has not fought in combat for a long time. I believe that soldier was disfigured and is suffering from mind melter style PTSD as a result of the stimulants given to him in combat, or perhaps just from combat itself, right? So they're suffering greatly, and that is why they're doing what they're doing. They think they're still a soldier. They think they're, you know, still in pursuit of righteousness. And I don't understand killing the mother and the father, which is very clearly what the spider mother and the father with the flamethrower are very clearly the boy's parents. They're the only two creatures in the entire game that are untethered. And I keep saying tethered like it's Death Stranding, but they are tethered, you know, with these ropes. So I think everything else was a hallucination, and perhaps it was a massacre or something. Perhaps the soldier himself was in a medical tent or a med bay, which we didn't see, but perhaps that's where the story starts. You know, them waking up from a coma and realizing that, you know, their face was terribly disfigured, and they snap as a result. I don't know. I don't know necessarily if any of that is legitimate or if that is just the headcanon I am producing after playing it for the second time. But I think I might be onto something. But you have to let me know what you think. What is your analysis down below? Cattle and pest we have unlocked. Very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We have more content on the way. Something for everybody, no doubt. If you have any suggestions for games you think I should play, videos you think I should make, questions, comments, and concerns, please leave them down below in the comment section. The comment section is the best way to get a hold of me right now. I read every comment personally and individually. If you want to try this game out for yourself, you want to play for yourself, please check the link down below in the description. And remember to mind the gap, stalkers. Mind the gap. And have a good one.